Today you're going to be writing a practice paragraph based on the evidence that you've been collecting in class. But first, let's take a second to look at the supplies you'll need. You are in the blue group, so you should have received a blue square of paper on your desk, indicating that you're in the blue group. You should be in the seat that you moved to, and now you need to take out these things. You need to take out the text evidence paper that was homework if you didn't finish it. You worked on it in class. You were supposed to find 4 pieces of text evidence. You need to make sure that you take out your transition words. This was a blue paper that you were supposed to put in the notes section. You received this last week. If you've lost it, you need to get another copy. The next thing you need is you need the actual writing assignment. And then you need a pencil, obviously, because you'll be writing. Make sure you have all those supplies and pause this video if there's something you need to go grab. You should also have access to all of the different colored highlighters. You just need to make sure that they're somewhere where you can reach them. You don't need to grab them now. You actually won't need them until much later. Let's take a look at the blue slip that has your writing assignment on it. Your task is to write a well-written paragraph that supports this claim. Paul is excluded. Let's take a look at your requirements. You must always follow the paragraph format. You can take out your notes if you would like them. You have a paragraph format note page that you color-coded everything. You can take it out if you want it. You don't need it because I will show it to you in just a few minutes. You need to make sure that you are using transition words. They are the green words on Mrs. Messner's wall, just in case you forget them, or in case you don't have your blue sheet, or just in case you want to look at the wall. You need to use commentary starters. Those are orange always. And then another tool that you can use is thesaurus.com if you need to stop repeating yourself all the time, because you don't want to use the word excluded too often. All right, you should definitely have this paper filled out. It was homework and it should have been in your VIP section because we weren't done with it. Should be completely filled out. So what I want to show you is, even though we're writing about Paul feeling excluded, I actually took a look at the words that we had typed right here, that Paul feels left out, ignored, and unappreciated, and I made a new prompt that might help you think about this as well. The new prompt that I have for you is, in the novel Tangerine, the main character, Paul, often feels left out, ignored, and unappreciated. Write a paragraph that supports Paul's feelings. I thought this prompt was nice because it includes all of the other things that Paul might be feeling, and it also gives you the name of the novel, which I think you should try and use in your paragraph. All right, the next thing you can get is this paper. This paper is on the desk somewhere, or it's already been passed out to you. And let's take a look at it. You got lucky today. The nice thing is that I would like you to just practice evidence and commentary today. So I've written a paragraph for you that has most of the parts, but several are still left out. So I'd like you to take a look and just read along with me. I have written a topic sentence. And as you know, topic sentences are pink, but I'm going to underline it in red because I don't have pink. And I'd like you to take a look at it. In the novel Tangerine by Edward Bloor, the main character, Paul, is often excluded by his family, which causes him to feel left out, ignored, and unappreciated. Some things that I want you to notice. Remember, I used the name of the work that you're reading, and I also used the author. This is important because it just gives a little bit of credibility to your sentence and your paragraph, and it lets you know that you actually read something and exactly what it is. So it's a nice little touch. In addition, I used lots of words from the prompt. You can see the prompt here: left out, ignored, unappreciated. I also used main character. I used Paul's name. and I just tried to include as much as I could from the prompt into my topic sentence. It's a nice idea. That way the sentence is much easier to write. But I've written it here for you, so you don't even need to worry about that. As you know from the format, the next thing that we should see after the topic sentence is a transition word. Transition words are green, and this time I chose to begin since it's my very first piece of evidence. Now, this time I decided to use a quote from the text, as you can see here. My quote from the text is right here at the end, and just go ahead and read this sentence with me. To begin, the text states that when Paul and Mom arrived at their new home in Florida, Eric waved casually to Mom. He ignored me. This sentence, or this part of a sentence, and this sentence are directly from the text. In fact, I can show you this page from the text. It is the exact same sentence that I used. Now, he in my paragraph didn't work. So I decided that I was not going to use that, and I was going to use the trick that we showed you yesterday, the ... and I just wanted to use waved casually to Mom because I needed to say who waved casually to Mom. I needed to say that right here, as you can see, Eric waves casually to Mom. So I still used, this is the exact quote from the text. I just cut off that part, he, and used the actual name of the character. Now, hopefully you heard in class yesterday that of your 3 pieces of evidence, you only get to use 1 quote. So you don't even have to worry about using a quote from the text. I've already done it for you. What you are going to do next is you are going to take a look at the commentary starter that I chose. This proves. And then here I've got what is starting my commentary sentence, but I haven't finished. So right now, your job is to remember that my evidence was that when Mom and Paul got home to their new house, Eric didn't even notice Paul. He waved casually to Mom. He totally ignored Paul. And remember, you are trying to prove that Paul is left out, ignored, and unappreciated. So why does someone completely ignoring their brother, why does that prove that Paul would feel left out, ignored, or unappreciated? I need you to pause the video after these instructions, and I need you to finish the rest of this sentence right here. This is a commentary sentence. Why is ignoring someone, why would that cause them to feel left out, ignored, or unappreciated? You pause the video right now and you finish the sentence. I'm going to show you my answer in a second, and you can look at it without doing your own, but remember, this is your only chance that you get to practice right now with some help. So doing it, trying as hard as you can, means that you're going to do a great job when it's your embedded assessment. Pause the video and fill the rest of this commentary sentence out. All right, are you done? Do you have your commentary sentence? Does it explain why someone ignoring their brother would make their brother feel left out? Hopefully it does. Let me show you mine and you can compare it to yours. All right, here's the sentence that I wrote. This proves, I'm going to start right here. This proves that Paul is left out because Eric purposely chose not to say hello to his brother, who he hasn't seen in a while, and he acts like Paul doesn't even exist. I think that your commentary sentence should have something similar. It does not have to be the same, but something similar to Eric acting like Paul doesn't even exist. Completely ignoring him is rude. Completely ignoring him shows that he doesn't like him. Something like that. Your commentary sentence is obviously not going to be the exact same as my commentary sentence, but yours needs to be a little bit similar. Now, if you have completely bombed the commentary sentence, I think that you should probably note that you still need some more help with that. You've got 2 more to practice in this paragraph, but maybe you start thinking that you need to have a meeting with a teacher or that you need to tell someone that you don't really understand this. If your commentary sentence is way off, you need to get some extra help. But maybe you can decide that after we practice the next 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at my next piece of evidence, which I also gave you. You don't even have to use your own evidence yet, because we are still practicing commentary. All right, so I want to show you where I got my next piece of text evidence from, and this is in the story. So it happens on Monday, August 21st, and I'll just read this paragraph to you very quickly. It's not long. It took me a long time to fall asleep last night. I was thinking about this. Eric's arrival is going to change the football season at Lake Windsor High School. Dad's arrival is going to change how things are done in the civil engineering department in Tangerine County. Mom's arrival will change the homeowners association in Lake Windsor Downs. So what about me? Will I make a difference between winning and losing for the middle school's soccer team? So when I read this, I kind of started thinking that Paul's really trying to figure out what his place in this family is. Everyone has a place. Eric's got football. Dad's got the new job. Mom's got her new thing with the homeowners association. Paul doesn't know where he fits in. He doesn't know where he belongs. So I thought this was an excellent piece of evidence to use as my second piece. So let's take a look and see how I used it. Now remember, I already used my quote up here. So I don't get to use another quote. What I have to do for my second piece of evidence is I have got to paraphrase it. The first thing that I do, as you know, is I choose a text evidence starter, a transition word, and then I can go ahead and start paraphrasing. So here's what I said. When Paul is thinking about all of the things his family is going to do, he wonders if he will be able to make a difference on the soccer team. Now, as you can see, when I paraphrased this, I left a lot out. The quote from the text was very long compared to what I wrote. Look at how long that is. So instead of using what every family member is going to do, I decided just to note that Paul is just wondering about his position. So Paul's thinking about all the things the family members are going to do. So I didn't list them right here. I just kind of said he's thinking about what they're going to do. And then he starts wondering if he can make a difference. Now, your job right now is to, again, practice your commentary. Why does someone wondering about this prove that they might be feeling left out, ignored, or unappreciated? I've already chosen a commentary starter for you. I picked the suggests, and I use the word that. You just have to figure out what you're going to write after that, and you have to finish the sentence. So again, you're trying to explain to me, why is it that when someone is thinking about how they fit into the family, why does that probably indicate that they're feeling left out? Go ahead and pause the video while you write your own commentary sentence. All right, hopefully you've written your own commentary sentence. Let's see how you did. I'd like to show you mine, and I'd like to give you a few tips and hints about what I would like to see in yours. All right, I decided to go with, this suggests that Paul feels like he is rejected because it seems like everyone in his family has a role in their new hometown except for him. Paul is feeling like everyone has a place and he doesn't. This would indicate that he feels left out, but I felt like I would probably be using that word too much. So as a synonym, I actually did use thesaurus.com, and I decided to go with rejected this time because I don't want to keep using this over and over again. So do you have something like this? Do you have something similar? Is yours okay? Again, as long as it's close, it doesn't have to be the same, but I think you need something about everyone having a role or everyone having a new purpose except Paul. Again, if you really bombed this and yours is terrible, you think, maybe you could have a teacher check it, or maybe you just need to make a note that this is something that you're still feeling really uneasy about. Alright, so now you've got your paper in front of you, but you have it much more filled in than this paper. So you should notice that I purposely have made these lines right here very dark, indicating that you were supposed to fill it in, and you should now be right here with your paper. Hopefully, looking at the form, you know that we are now right here. We haven't written the last transition word in text evidence number 3 or the commentary sentence, but you should be able to see on your paper that I did give you a concluding sentence. So you should know what's coming up here. Your job now is to go back to this paper, and starting here where the lines are normal again, where they're not extra dark, you are going to write a third piece of evidence following the format, and you're going to write a commentary sentence with a commentary starter. This is the only time that you have to use a piece of your own evidence. And where are you going to get that evidence from? You're going to get it from this paper that you have in front of you that you have completed. I'm guessing that of the 4 pieces of evidence that you were supposed to find, hopefully you have to have one that is not the same as the 2 that I already used. So you hopefully have 4 different pieces of evidence from me to choose from. I need you to look at your paper. Look at the paper that you wrote and you found evidence for. You need to pick your absolute best piece of evidence. There might be one on here that you think is not very good. Don't pick that one. Pick the one that you think is best and get it into this paragraph format. Remember, you are starting right here at sentence 6. So you're going to pick a transition word and you're going to give me some text evidence. You are not going to use a quote, even though on your paper we asked you to find a quote from the text. Now you have to use your quote and you have to put it in your own words, just like I did right here. You don't get to use a quote from the text. So again, your job is to pause this video after directions, write your next 2 sentences, which are these 2 right here, and then hopefully you've done a great job. You can see that I have already written a concluding sentence for you, so you don't even need to bother doing that. It's done for you. Yay, enjoy. Just make sure that you pause the video now and write those last 2 sentences, sentences 6 and 7, using one of the pieces of evidence that you found. Pause the video and do this now, and then come back to the video for further directions. Alright, if you are back with this video, then you have written these 2 sentences. I'm not going to tell you how I wrote mine. I want to see how you write yours, and I'm going to, because what you're going to do next are the following things over here in this list. Your to-do list is first, use the format over here and highlight your paragraph that you wrote using the format. So as you know, you're going to grab the highlighters, highlight the topic sentence pink. I already wrote the topic sentence for you. You are just going to make sure that you have all the parts in your paragraph, and you're going to make sure you highlight it exactly like the format that is shown on the right. After you do that with the highlighters, the second thing that you are going to do, so after you've done this one, the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to open a new Google Doc on your Chromebook, and you are going to type your paragraph in Google Docs. Yes, you're going to be retyping a lot of what I already typed for you, but that's okay, because within that organizer that I've made for you, you also have your own commentary sentences and one piece of evidence. So please type exactly the paragraph that is in front of you that you wrote. You are then going to make sure that you share your paragraph with Mrs. Messner. When you share your paragraph with Mrs. Messner, I have listed her email below, right here, so that you will know what to type in when you share it with her. So again, you are highlighting your paragraph using our format. You are typing all 8 sentences in Google Docs, even the ones I wrote for you, as well as yours that you wrote, and then you are sharing it with Mrs. Messner. We can't wait to see the paragraphs that you've written. Even though this is your first time and you're just still learning and still practicing, we're really excited to see what you've done. One more thing. Please remember, if you found yourself really struggling with commentary and your commentary was a disaster, maybe you could write a note to us in your Google Doc and tell us that this is something that you just don't understand. That'll be private and it'll be easy to share with us, and then we can get you the help that you need. Do a great job. I know they're going to be awesome. See you later.